My name is Maddie. I'm the director and founder of Victorian English Language Tutoring, also known as VELT. You can find lots of free resources and study guides on our website, www.VELTVCE.com. You can also book tutoring lessons and take part in our online course, which is super exciting. Today we are continuing with our series on parts of speech as per the VCAA VCE English Language Study Design for Units 1 to 4, which is Year 11 and 12. Today we are going to be doing verbs. Just a reminder that I don't write full definitions on the board, but I will say them. If you need to pause the video at any time, that's completely fine. You can always come back when you're ready. So, what is a verb? A verb is a doing word. Something that's an action, something that we're doing. For example, walk. Walk is an action, something that we're doing. Swim, think, dance. Have a quick think about other verbs you can think of. What are doing words? Then we're going to classify these into multiple different types of verbs. So in the VCE study design for units 1 to 4, you need to know what an auxiliary verb is. So I'm going to put these here. Auxiliary verb. I think I've spelled that correctly. Actually, I think it's one L. Auxiliary verb. So auxiliary verbs are verbs that modify and change the aspect of a main verb. So actually, sorry, those verbs we were just talking about, they're main verbs. And we use our auxiliary verbs to modify and change those main verbs. So if we go back to main verbs, swim, dance, walk, they're all our main verbs. So with auxiliaries, we want to modify and change them. We can use auxiliaries to change the tense. We can use them to create negatives or create questions. So, for example, if we take the main verb dance, we can add the auxiliary has been and change it to dancing. So, for example, Maddie has been dancing. We use has been, which is an auxiliary, to change the main verb dance. I'll give you another one. The main verb swim, we can say was. So was swimming. We're changing the tense. So if we say was is our auxiliary verb, and we're changing the tense to was swimming. So there's some examples of auxiliary verbs. Then we have modal verbs. Modal verbs, sometimes they're known as modal auxiliaries. So our modal verbs or modal auxiliaries are types of auxiliary verbs. They are still types of verbs, but they're types of auxiliaries. So we have verbs as the umbrella term, next step down is auxiliary, and next step down is modal. Hopefully that makes sense. Feel free to comment below if you need some clarification on that. I can do up a little mind map and pop it on the website if you need that. So feel free to comment down below. So our modals, there are 9, I believe. Yes, there are 9 modal verbs. They are the only modal verbs, and once you memorize the 9, you will know all of the modal verbs. There's not extra modal verbs that you have to identify. So if you don't have a pen and paper right now, I recommend you grab one out because I'm going to say them and you can write them down. So we have can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must. So they're our 9 modal auxiliaries. I'm just going to put 9 in brackets up there. So So can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must. So the way I learned them when I was in VCE was I turned them into a song. I would walk around and say can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must. And you just create a bit of a rhythm to it. You start to remember them. And once you know them, you know them. It's been many years since I graduated VCE and I still know them because of those little songs that I made up. So just remember modal verbs / modal auxiliaries, there's 9 of them. Can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must. They all come under auxiliary verbs, which is a verb. So if you get asked to identify verbs in a SAC or exam, you could get asked to identify auxiliary verbs, or you could get asked to identify modal verbs. You can use any of the 9 to identify those. Remember our main verbs like walk, swim, think, they're all doing words. And our auxiliary verbs are those ones that change or modify the main verb. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below or visit our website for more free English language resources, www.veltvce.com. Thanks guys, have a great day.